Hi everyone! Welcome back to yet another one of our flexibility series. I'm Melanie the Physio, also the co-founder of Capital Physiotherapy here in Australia. Now we are almost coming to an end of our 7 days flexibility series, and I hope you have been following them all along, and now you're feeling that you're more flexible than when you first started off. Today, because we're coming to an end of the flexibility series, this series is going to be a little bit more on the intermediate side of things, and we are trying to give you stretches to help with splits. So if you are aiming to try to do splits, then this video is definitely for you. Let's go! To start off, we're gonna start with some dynamic movement of our whole lower body and lower back, because that's what's important in splits, okay? So we're gonna come into wide stance, way wider than shoulder width apart, okay? And we're gonna do side lunges to warm up our legs before we start stretching them, okay? Just some dynamic side lunges. Good. Good. As you lunge, try to straighten that leg as much as you can, yeah? Very good. You gotta warm up that muscles so we don't end up getting injured while we're doing all these extreme stretches. Good. Perfect. Good. It doesn't matter, you don't have to go as low, just go as low as you can until you feel a stretch. That's good enough, yeah? You can do it like that too, okay? Very good. Good. Now standing up in the wide stance again. Making sure that your feet is pointing forward rather than out that way. Keeping them forward, and we're gonna roll our body forward, one vertebra at a time, and see if you can touch your head to the floor. Good. Making sure you straighten your legs while you're doing this again, with your hand supporting on the floor, not too much pressure on your head. And we go bend our knee and straighten. Bend our knee and straighten. And we just keep repeating that. You might feel a stretch at the back of your leg, or you might feel a stretch at your calf or your inner thigh. Doesn't matter which one it is, as long as you feel some sort of stretch, that's okay. Good. Perfect. Good. And then now stand straight with your leg, and then we're going to roll one vertebra at a time. Good. Coming back up, roll your shoulder blade back and down, and come back into standing. Well done. Now, shake off your leg. Good. We're gonna now come into side lying. So, same thing, we're gonna warm up the side of our leg a little bit first before we start doing split. Now you can do it in sort of like a prop up position like this, making sure that your shoulder is directly underneath your elbow though, yeah? And you want to lift your chest up so you're supporting it with your shoulder muscle rather than just sagging down like that, okay? You can do that, but if your shoulder is uncomfortable, you can certainly do it lying as well, okay? Good. Now, if you want to do it lying, that's fine. Making sure that your hip is stuck on top of your other hip, and we're gonna kick the leg to the side as high as you can, pointing that toe, good, and straightening that knee as high as you can. Good. Or you can do it propping up, and we do that. Just kick your leg to the side. Well done. Very good. Perfect. Good. This is my new yoga mat. I'm so excited to use this today. It literally arrived just today. There you go. The old mat was good, but it just keeps sliding off the floor. It's just not doing the job that it's supposed to do. Good, now I feel my hips starting to warm up. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Now we're not trying to fatigue the hip here. We just want them to feel a little bit of working, a little bit of burning, and that's all it is, yeah? So that's what we call warm up, where you feel that your muscle is working, but not like extremely fatigued, just to make sure that they're warm enough for us to start stretching safely. Good. Good. Kick it up as high as you can, and the amount of time it takes to warm up my hip might be different from you. You know, you might feel it sooner, you might feel it a bit later, doesn't matter. So just do this exercise until you feel a slight burning at the side of your hip, and that's all it is. You can stop there, okay? Good, push your shoulder up while you're doing this. Do not sack the shoulder down, so you're supporting your whole body while you're doing these kicks. Point the leg up and kick them up as high as you can. Good. See how I'm straightening and pointing my other feet as well? Basically, I'm trying to activate and lengthen the entire leg so that I'm activating the whole muscles of my entire leg. Very good. And relax. Well done. Now first stretch, while you're already here, you're gonna come up, grab your heel, point your feet up, and we're gonna pulse it that way. Now if you find it hard to do, you can prop it up. So you can grab your legs, and then we're gonna pulse it that way with a pointed foot or up. Doesn't really matter. Yeah? Good. You can lie down. If it's easier, if you feel like you can pull a little bit more, make sure that your leg is always straight, like you're squeezing the front of your thigh. A lot of people, when they're stretching, they bend their knees and they don't even realize they're bending their knees. You gotta squeeze and lengthen the entire leg, so your whole leg are feeling slightly activated, yeah? In no way and in no part of your leg is actually not working with these kind of stretches, okay? So tense up everything. And down. We're gonna swap to the other side. Prop up or lie down, doesn't really matter. You're gonna hook it up, straighten those legs, grab it underneath, grab it above, doesn't really matter, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? And then we pulse. Very good. Keep pulsing. Oh. I can smell the rubber of this mat. I don't know. Is that normal? I don't know. Good. Very good. Keep pulsing. Good. Perfect. And down. Now, we're gonna come into a sitting position with both knees bent into like an M motion. Straighten up your spine, and we're gonna curl all the way down. This is to open up that hip. So as we go down, you wanna make sure that your leg doesn't come in that way. Keep them open as we roll down and come back up. Good. Down as far as you can and come back up. Again, it's to warm up your hip. It's not really to do anything different other than just warming up that hip for the next exercise. So walk your way forward and then walk your way back again. Doesn't matter if the back is bent or straight with this exercise because we're not holding in a prolonged position. It's okay. Go. Good. And up. A few more. Very good. Come back up. Well done. Now, we're gonna then straighten the leg as far as we can, pointing the feet out, and we're gonna arch that lower back, yeah? So we're not even moving our legs to spreading it wider. The key is actually not to spread the leg too wide, but to actually learn to control your lower back while you're in that position, okay? So, come into a wide spread. Look, I'm not super wide at the moment, right? Point your feet up, and you're gonna arch that lower back forward into an S shape, and then curl them back again. Arch that lower back forward, and then curl them back again. And all this time, your toe and your kneecap is always pointing up towards the ceiling, so you don't roll them in and out as you go. They stay upright, and you rolled your lower back forward, and you roll them back, okay? Roll the lower back forward, and roll them back. Good. Keep rolling forward, and back. Arching your lower back, then arching it backwards again. Rolling the tailbone up towards your head, rolling the tailbone down towards the floor. Tailbone up towards the head, tailbone down towards the floor. Okay? So, keep doing that. And the next stretch, we are just going, ooh, am I in the center? The next stretch, we're gonna keep there, arch that lower back, and we're gonna turn to one side and reach, and we hold. Good. As we are filming this is literally the last day of our lockdown in Melbourne. I mean, we're not fully opening up, but starting tomorrow, we can actually go to a restaurant. I mean, I haven't even speak of the word restaurant in such a long time. As you guys might know, Melbourne is up in the headline of news, the world's most locked down state. Every part of the rest of the world is already starting up, I'm sure, and we're still in lockdown for the longest time now. Swap side, and we hold. Go. Breathe. Perfect. Keep breathing. Feel the stretch. So next week, if you guys don't see any upload, just so you know, I might be out in a restaurant, that's why. No, I'm kidding. I'll be here next Tuesday. I'll be here every Tuesday. Then we're gonna go rolling forward, pointing your feet up still, and we're gonna reach and see how far you can go. Good. Oh, this is really tight for me. Whew. Breathe. Breathe into the stretch. Whew. There we go. Good. Now this is just the side split, by the way. We haven't quite reached the front split yet. Good. Oh, this hurts. And come back up. Good, now slightly bend your legs. Oh, I feel like they're gonna torn apart. Okay, and then shake them out. Good. Shake them out. Oh man, that is sore. Okay, Good, now moving on, we're gonna go to our front split now. Front split, because we're gonna use our hip flexor, our quads, we're gonna warm those muscles up first before we go into a stretch again, yeah? So we're gonna do some slight lunges, we're gonna do some front lunges, one leg forward, one leg back, making sure your back leg is right on your tippy toe like this. You're gonna tuck your hip forward and you might feel a stretch at the front of your thigh already just by doing that. That's totally fine. We're gonna go straight down and up a couple of times just to warm up those legs muscle, yeah? We're gonna go there. Good. Perfect. Beautiful. Again, this is not trying to strengthen your muscle or anything. We are just trying to warm these muscles up so that we can give them a proper stretch for later without causing any injuries. There we go. Good. Because these stretch are not basic stretch anymore, they're a little bit more on the extreme side of stretch, so we need to make sure we do some proper warmed up before we do them. Good. Good. And then now we're gonna reach the leg way back to the end of the mat. If we can, we're gonna come down into a far lunge while straightening the back leg. Bring your hands down beside your ankle, shoulder width apart. Again, you're gonna support your shoulder. You're not just gonna let it sag down, yeah? Support your shoulder, straighten the back leg, and then bend them towards the floor. Straighten the back leg, and then bend them towards the floor again. We're gonna repeat that a couple of times. Good. Every time you straighten, make sure you lock that knee straight and then come back down again. Lock that knee straight and then come back down again. Making sure your back is as straight as possible. Good. And we're gonna come back. So stepping the back leg all the way to your front and then straighten your legs. And we're gonna come up one vertebra at a time and roll your back. Good. Now we're gonna swap leg. So I'll do it that side. The other leg, one leg forward, one leg back. Tuck your hip forward and we're just gonna go straight down into a lunge and come back up again. Just warming up those legs, nothing fancy, just want to activate them. Good. We are coming towards spring and summer now in Melbourne. It's a bit different from the rest of the world, but yeah, the weather is getting quite hot here. Wood, I don't like the hot weather too much, which is funny because I'm from a tropical country. I'm from Malaysia, but I hated the heat. I hated the humidity. Well, that's why I came to Australia. So I think my favorite season is what's my favorite season? I like autumn the best, I think. Good. And now we lunge to a far lunge. Good. Chest up. Use your shoulder blade muscles. And we're gonna bend those knees and then extend them. Bend those knees and then extend them. Good. I'm getting used to this mat. It's a little bit different from my old one. Good. They're still quite sticky. I don't know whether is it a new mat or just a little bit on the sticky side. I don't know why. Should I be wiping them down first? Good. Stepping all the way forward. Straighten your leg. And roll one spine up at a time, shoulder blade back, head straight. Okay, let's do some front stretch, shall we? So, first thing first, let's do our long stretch. Come into a kneeling position. You want to hook one leg forward. I'm using my left leg forward first, making sure it's in 90 degree. Hold your foot down with one hand, and then you're gonna drag the back leg back. Good. As far as you can till you feel a stretch. And you can either hold it upright first. We're gonna hold it upright for a couple of seconds. Good. Just holding it there, pushing the hip down as much as you can, and hold it there. You should feel the other leg stretching as well, like the hip area stretching on the other side too. Good. Perfect. So this is both trying to stretch out the front of your hip here, and also to stretch out the back of your hip on your other side. Good. Now, while you stretch that up enough already, we're gonna lean our whole body forward as much as you can, and we're gonna stay there again. Good, and relax. Good, now we're gonna go to the other side. So for this side, we're gonna put our right leg forward into a 90-degree position. Use our hand to stop our ankle so it doesn't slide back. And we're gonna slide our back leg back as far as we can. And then just stay there. Feel the stretch at the front of your hip here, and also the back of your hip on your other side. Just hold that there. Good. As you stretched it out enough already, we're gonna now lean forward all the way out. Walk your hands forward and then stretch it there. Good. And come back up. Good. Now, so we stretch the front of the hip now. The next thing that's important is your hamstring for the front split. So, we're gonna come up into kneeling position. Doesn't matter which side, we're gonna do both sides anyway, but I'm gonna do my left leg forward first. I'm gonna sit myself back and then straighten that leg out. While I do that, I'm gonna then lean my body forward and see how far I can actually lean forward, and you should feel the stretch at the entire back of your leg, starting there. Good. Hold that there. Doesn't matter if you point your feet down or point your feet up. Either way is fine. Lean forward. Breathe into the stretch. Good. Good. Come back up. Good. Now we're gonna swap side. The other leg. And you're gonna sit back onto your heel. Feel the stretch. Lean your back forward. And just hold it there. Keep breathing, keep straightening your back and lengthening those spine, and arch forward. Good, and relax. Perfect. Now we're gonna try the actual split. Pillow is your best friend for learning how to split. So, you're gonna put a pillow on the floor first. You're gonna go into a lunge position that we did just then. You're gonna bring your leg forward just like what we did just then. And then you're gonna bring your leg back. Oh, my feet is out the mat. Lunge, walk yourself forward and walk yourself back to however far you can. And then we hold it there. Try to straighten your back leg as much as you can and straighten your front leg as much as you can. And we just hold, yeah? You start off with a pillow. Doesn't matter how high the pillow is. The key is to practice your stretch, yeah? As it starts getting easier, you can always remove one pillow at a time to the point that you reach the floor, okay? So don't worry too much. And if this is too painful for you, you can have 2 yoga blocks on your hand and then use your hand to push yourself like up a little bit. That's fine too. It takes time. It takes time to get better with your split, all right? Just be patient with it. It will get better, all right? Good. Perfect. Make sure your hip is nice and square as possible, so you try to rotate them to as square as you can. Oh, that's tight for me. That's my timer going. And then we're gonna do it on the other side. Lunging, walk your leg back, walk your leg forward as far as you can, and then sit into it. Try to straighten your back as much as you can, but with the pillow it's a bit hard to be completely straight, and that's okay. Keep your hip as square as you can. Try, yeah? And we hold. Now, some people who do performance art will leave a comment for me and asking me how do they do oversplit. Now, oversplit really depends. Not everybody actually have the hip capacity to actually do oversplit. Everyone should have the capacity to do a normal split if you train up for it, but oversplit on the other hand, not everyone can do them. So if you've been trying and stretching, and we're talking about years and years of practicing, and you still can't get your oversplit, maybe get it checked out. Sorry, that's my timer. That's my timer saying it's more than a minute. We're just gonna hold it for a minute. longer, and I'm gonna explain this. Maybe have your hip checked out by a professional and see whether you do have the hip capacity to actually do oversplit, because not everyone can actually do them. Yeah? Good, and then come into a sitting position. Sorry, my battery just went completely out right at the last minute where we finished off the split exercise. So after you practice with a pillow, you are free to welcome to practice it without a pillow. But this is all the split exercise that I have for you, and the stretches exercise to progress you to getting your split. So I hope you enjoy this series. Make sure you do them every day for the next 2 weeks to start seeing some results, and pick a few of the exercise from the last episode that you find it difficult and incorporate it into your this series exercise as well. Just a handful of them. Just as always, I'm Melanie, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, happy, and healthy. See ya!